Alright, quick update on Smooth Love Potion. We have had a very small bounce from this 618 that we've been talking about being your last line in the sand. Now, I think I even said I think it's more likely that we were going to break down than hold it, but I said, you know, I wouldn't be making a decision until we either have a strong bounce and start breaking through these resistances up here, or before we do break below it, close a daily beneath it, and then retest and start falling off the table. Really nothing's changed, so I am going to make this video fairly quick. The macro market structure is obviously completely unchanged. We're still in a massive downtrend, so even though we have had this very small bounce from the 786 from where we are now, about 12%, we came all the way up here to 18%, but do bear in mind, if we do just come to where we previously fell off, which was only last month, I mean, we are like 61, or from where we are now, we're still like 57% down. So really nothing has changed. The macro market structure is very much to the downside. In the short term, if this is going to play as the bottom, because both the MFI and the RSI could have potentially bottomed. They do look fairly decent right now, and when I made like a warning video on this thinking we were going to go down, I told you about this around about this vicinity because we had double topped on the RSI and the money flow indicator, and previously when we double topped on the RSI and the money flow indicator, it was right here and we completely fell off the table. So that is why we kind of predicted this big 60 or 57 whatever percent drop it was, and I'd be much more confident entering a position on Smooth Love Potion in the short term once we have hopped above this 618. So while I personally do think the chart looks a tiny bit bearish, from a completely technical perspective, if we are just using this fib here, in the micro term, obviously from the low to the high, we have back tested the 786, we have held it, and if we start pushing up and breaking above this 220, 217, 215, this kind of range here, and it's a range because we have the 618 down here at 210, and we have this previous high up here at 215, 216 or so. So once we have broken above this red box, I would be a lot more confident in saying this could potentially be the bottom, and we would have had a bottoming signal down here, big push up, a retest of the 786, and then we could potentially run up all the way to the 200-day moving average in the coming weeks. But wow, that is a nice trade, so I would definitely be taking part in that trade. I would be waiting for a break of the 618 though, so it would be a little bit less nice for me, but like I say, I'm a conservative trader. I've missed out on basically this whole fall off the side, and it's been the same for a lot of altcoins. I've been missing out on these massive drops, and I'd rather just miss out a little bit more, so I know that the market structure is flipping bullish. If we do come over to Bitcoin, let's see if we can get this up. So Bitcoin has broken above the 41,500, and it's pushing up quite strongly now. If we close above 41.5, I think this is going to be very good for low market cap altcoins, like SLP specifically. So SLP looks half decent right now. We have had a fairly convincing bottom on this 786, but in the short term, I'm really not getting out of bed until we either do break below the 157. If we break below 157, I think we'll be having a 44% drop. And on the flip side, if we do break above this 618, this previous high specifically, we would be above the 216. Once we kind of do something like this, break 216, backtest it, and then push up, I would be longing right here after we break that that high after retesting and then pushing up. So that is honestly what I'm looking for. There's not too much else to say, so I don't want to take up too much of your time, but yeah, this has a good risk to reward setup. If this was the bottom and you are already buying, so be it, best of luck. But for me personally, I'm waiting for a break above 216, a back test, and then I would be buying for this just over 2x return up to the 200-day, and that is still being conservative because it could run up a lot harder than that. But in the short term, I'd at least say if I did make this trade, I would take short-term profits at the 200-day moving average. If we did have a massive push up above it, and then we came back down something like this, took our time, retested it here, and then started pushing up, I would enter another long here. So I would kind of lagger in, I would do one trade at a time, because SLP is not necessarily the kind of crypto that I want to hold in the long term, because it is very inflationary. If you read the Axie Infinity white paper, you'll see that it doesn't have a fixed supply, and the more players are playing SLP, the more players are playing Axie Infinity, the more SLP they'll just create out of thin air. So it's not, in my opinion, it doesn't really have too much value, and it will keep on hyperinflating. But when it does have these pumps, it will have massive pumps, especially good for short-term traders. But like I said, not something I want to hold in the long term. So in the short term, as long as we hold 157 or 156, we are extremely bullish. On the flip side as well, if we do finally break above the 217, backtest it, I would be buying Smooth Love Potion on spot, and allowing, you know, this massive trade to take place. So all in all, nothing's changed. We've been going sideways for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks now. So I'm not too excited for this. I am really just kind of sitting and waiting to see what happens. I would like to see this break above, but like I said, I mean, we've been going sideways for weeks now. So, you know, a little retest of here and then a slight dead cat bounce is still possible. We could still break through here. That is why I'm sitting on the sidelines till we break this red box or this green box. So that is all I see for SLP. If you are holding it, best of luck. Once again, none of this is financial advice. It's just my own opinion on the market. Cowboy out. Peace.